Hello everyone! Welcome back to our daily 5-minute English lessons. I'm your funny American English teacher, and today is our 72nd lesson in the series where we cover 100 essential adverbs. Can you believe it? If you've been with us from the start, you're already 71 adverbs smarter. Understanding these little words can make reading in English so much more fun. Today, we're going to dive into the word heavily. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel more confident when you see it in your favorite books or articles. Ready? Let's get started. All right, before we jump into today's lesson, let's start with a quick quiz. Here's a question for you. Which of these sentences uses heavily correctly? 1. She dances heavily at the party. 2. It rained heavily all night. 3. Heavily he smiled at me. Take a moment to think about it. Got your answer? The correct answer is number 2. It rained heavily all night. So, what does heavily mean? In one word, strongly or intensely. Now let's talk about the feeling behind heavily. When you hear this word, think of something that is strong, intense, or a lot. Imagine a really heavy rain that pounds on the roof, or someone who is so tired that they breathe loudly and deeply. That's the kind of intensity heavily carries. Let's look at how heavily is often used. One common situation is when we're talking about the weather. Imagine it's a stormy night. You're at home and you hear the rain hitting the roof. You say, "It rained heavily all night." This shows just how intense the rain was. Another example is with emotions. Picture a friend who is exhausted after a long day. They sit down and sigh deeply. You could say, "She sighed heavily." This sentence helps us feel just how tired and overwhelmed she is. And then there's involvement. Think of someone who is very involved in a project at work. They're putting in a lot of effort, maybe working late hours. You might hear, "He is heavily involved in the project." This tells us that the person is deeply engaged and committed. Now let's compare heavily to some similar words like strongly and intensely. Strongly is usually about opinions or emotions. For example, if someone disagrees with a plan, they might say, "I strongly disagree." It's a forceful way to show they really don't agree. On the other hand, intensely is about doing something with a lot of focus or effort. Imagine a student who is working very hard before an exam. You could say, "He studied intensely for the test." This shows he's really concentrating and giving it his all. Now it's your turn. I want you to try using heavily in a sentence. Leave your sentence in the comments below, and I'll be checking them out. Remember, practice makes perfect. So, to recap, heavily is a versatile adverb that adds intensity to your verbs. Whether it's describing rain, emotions, or involvement, it's a word that packs a punch. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be using it like a pro. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a lesson. See you tomorrow for lesson 73. Keep learning and keep smiling.